Hey everyone, we have another One Piece match for you guys today. It is the Trafalgar Law from the first set, Romance Dawn, versus the starter deck Luffy. And I think Trafalgar Law is probably one of the best leaders in the game right now. And then against Luffy, which definitely got a big upgrade from Romance Dawn and all the support from the first set here. So looks like we are just setting up our life, and Yomi won the dice roll, so she will be able to go first. Playing the Nami, probably the best one drop in the game right now, looking top 5 and getting a Sanji from the star deck that does get rushed with the Dawn 2, adding it to hand and then passing it back to me. So 2 Dawn on my side, and I think, you know, that Nami looks pretty good, so I'm going to do the same myself. Look top 5, I'm going to get a Brook, which is a plus 2k counter, which is quite nice. I'm going to play an Otama just for 1, just to get another body on the board and then pass it there. I know that the Luffy deck normally doesn't have a lot of removal, so I am somewhat safe to, you know, put down that 1-drop Otama. Playing the Sanji and then using the leader effect to add another Dawn underneath it to give it that rush, and then attacking my leader. I will use that Brooks I just added to get that out of it, and then the Luffy's going to swing into me. I'll go down to 3 life. So 4 Dawn for me. I'm going to use another Otama to give that Sanji minus 2k, so it's at 2k right now. Swing my leader a 5-2, so that Sanji will get KO'd, and then I'm going to just play a Zoro for 3. Again, pretty safe. I think the only thing that can get rid of this is a Gum Gum Jet Pistol, which would be pretty good, like tempo-wise, if they end up doing that. And it looks like that's what Yomi does. So Jet Pistol, get rid of Zoro, and then another 5k swing on my leader, and I'll take it, go down to 2, and then finally passing with a Tony Chopper there. So obviously, you know, Luffy's really good at the early game aggression, but I think at this turn I'll be able to stabilize a little bit. So I'm going to start with the Mamushi, my apologies, and get the Tony Chopper in rest mode, and then a little bit of thinking me. I'm going to play the Koizuki there, and then use the effect as well to look at the top 5 of my deck. I will add the Izo, which is another plus 2k counter, which is quite nice. Add that to my hand, and then I do have 2 Dawn open, so I can use my leader's effect. First, I'm going to use the Nami attack and to the Chopper, and then I'm going to use the Law effect to play a Trafalgar Law, the 5-drop, which then will be able to play an Izo that I just added to rest the Nami, and then attack it with the leader there. So board is clear on the Luffy side, and I have a wide board myself with a blocker and just a lot of gas. So starting off with the in 2 years at whatever the extra card's called, the event card, looking and finding a Zoro, which is quite nice. Adding the Zoro there, and then playing it for 3. Zoro is probably one of the best cards in the game as well. Just a 3-drop with rush is really important in a game that doesn't let you attack with cards when they come out. So making the Zoro a 6k now, and attacking into our leader. I'm going to get out of it with an Otama, and then there's going to be a big swing. I'm just going to block with my Trafalgar Law. It's going to go away, and we're going to pass the turn back to me. So I am at, I believe, 8 Dawn right now, so pretty good. Using the Koizuki there, looking at top 5 again, and fortunate for me, I do not get a hit on that one. Koizuki is a little bit, there's not as much Wano as I'd say other cards there, but I'm going to play my own Zoro for 3 afterwards, attack that into their Zoro, 5-5, and using the Brook to get out of it. We're going to use the Trafalgar Law effect to get out another Trafalgar Law, which I'll use to bounce back the Izo to play another Zoro, and then another 5k at Zoro. And yeah, the fact that now that we see a plus 2k counter to defend it, and another one, means that we're getting rid of a lot of good, you know, damage out of there. So we were able to use the Neko Mamashi to swing 1 more 5k and get rid of the Zoro. And I believe Yomi's only got like 2 or 3 cards in hand, which is quite good for us. So again, we do have a board established, but we do have to be careful. There is the Monkey D. Luffy from the star deck, which is a little bit dangerous for endgame conditions, but it looks like attacking with the leader as a 6k, and I get out. I'm thinking about getting out of it, and I do with an Otama, so get up to 7k, and then attack into my Zoro. I can't block this one, and I'll just let the Zoro go away. And then I believe I'm up to 10 Dawn now, so again, looking like I have to, I think I'm starting to stabilize a lot. You know, obviously Yomi only has 1 card in hand. Look top 5 again, I do find a Neko Mamushi that time, so that is a nice add. We're going to play the Nami that we bounced back to hand earlier. Look top 5 again. Man, this Law deck just gets so much draw once you start getting your curve and everything. So getting a Brooks, which is another 2k counter. Using my 6k leader to attack, knowing that, you know, with only 1 card in hand, they probably won't defend it. Using a 5k with the Neko on the board, and then I'm going to use the Law effect again to bounce back the Neko into a Monkey D. Luffy, and I don't have to give it the +2 Dawn because it already has Rush inherently, but we are just going to guarantee that damage and then pass there. So down to 3 life left for Luffy, with me still at 2. And they did get rid of a Dawn earlier, so we find that back. So Nami for 1, and then also a Zoro for 3, and then you're able to use both effects from the Nami and the Luffy to add 2 to there. So 7k, and then adding another 3, I believe. So I believe this is a 10k swing. Yeah, this looks like a 10k swing on that Zoro at my life, and I do take the 1. So going down to 1, it looks like an 8k swing now, and I will use the double counter there to get out of it. So we are good there. And they're both 2k counters, so that's 9k worth of counters off 2 cards in my hand. And that's like the other thing too, like Trafalgar Law, even though you start at 4 life, it is very, very easy for you to have like a stacked hand of like +2k counters. So starting with a 6k at leader, looks like an Otama gets out of it. Going into a 5k into Zoro, getting rid of that with the Nami. Using the Koizuki once again, and finding another Koizuki out of that. Just another 1k counter, which is cool. And then for 2, we're going to bounce back and then play, bouncing the Nami back to play a Neko to swing into it with our Luffy. And looks like that is probably it. We're going to do a Trafalgar Law into there. I could have probably like used 2 Dawn on the Otama to swing into the Nami, because it doesn't look like I have a lot in my hand. So that's something I definitely could have done, put a lot more pressure, probably get them down to 1. But it looks like Luffy's going to be swinging in with a big old, I believe, 9k. So I'll be taking that. Playing the Tony Chopper for 1, getting a blocker established, and then passing the turn. So getting me down to 1 is really important. If they do have like if I don't have a blocker out, there's a lot of trouble for me. So I do have to be a little bit careful here. And it looks like I will decide to first swing with the Luffy for 8k. They can't block it with the Dawn ×2 when attacking. And then I'll be using the 2 on the Trafalgar Law to bounce back the Luffy to play the Neko that we knew that was in our hand. So we are able to rest the Tony Chopper. We have a 7k on, or sorry, an 8k on leader, and then a 9k on there, and not enough counter power to get out of it. So a pretty close game though. We did have to go down to 0. They were almost aggressive enough. If I went a little bit wide, if I did not win that turn, there's a good chance I lost just because of the power for there. And especially they did have the Diablo in hand, so I could just lose next turn to just a very, very large Luffy swing in with no block. So very close game, even though I think I got a lot of the control, and that'll be it. So thank you again for watching. I really do appreciate it. Let me know what other matchups you guys want to see, and I'll catch you all next time.